Actor, director, and producer Kevin Sorbo is here, along with actor and host of the new podcast, The Homeland, Dean Cain, back with us. Great to have you both here. Kevin, so here was a moment that surprised me from Best Actress Jessie Buckley. Take a look.
You, Fred, I love you, man. I love you. You're the most incredible dad. You're my best friend, and I want to have 20,000 more babies with you. I do. To understand the capacity of a mother's love is the greatest collision of my life.
Okay, so she praised marriage. She dedicated the award to moms everywhere. But Free Palestine got a bigger round of applause, Kevin, than that right there. Did that surprise you?
Not really, but what it surprised me when you say Free Palestine in a room full of Jewish people, I find that very interesting. So it's so bizarre. Look, I have not watched an Oscars for probably 15 or longer years. I stopped watching along with most of America. They have less and less people watching every single year. People are sick of it. They don't care. They honestly don't care. It's just like the Democrats in Washington, D.C., they lie over and over again. They're saying, you can go back and find tapes of Hillary and Obama saying the same thing about our border and protecting it and shipping people back. They were more MAGA than Trump was when they talked about it. But everything that they say is just, they just want to be opposite of Trump. And look, that woman right there, I don't know who she is, but I saw that speech only because I saw it on the internet. I don't watch the Oscars. And I said, if they had more people like that talk, just being positive and grateful, I'd probably watch Oscars again.
Yeah, great point, Dean. I remember the days where the Oscars, it was like appointment viewing. What's ironic is the Super Bowl halftime show, the alternative TPUSA halftime show, will probably get more viewers than what we saw last night or didn't see.
I didn't see it. I'll be honest. I did not watch it.
I don't think you're alone.
I didn't even know it was on. But my mom, she knew it was on. My mom's been watching it religiously forever. She started watching it like noon, watched the arrivals, the valet parking folks and everything like that. She's always loved it. She said it didn't seem too woke. You know, I by the way, am one of those 7 million that turned off Bad Bunny, and I speak Spanish, but I turned off Bad Bunny. I watched Kid Rock. I enjoyed that. Yep. You know, I think I think Kevin has a real good point. Like, people aren't watching it anymore. I don't know what the actual ratings were. I don't really care. I didn't know it was on. But I will say this: one of my mom's favorite moment of the whole thing was that Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor. Now, I'll tell you, Michael B. Jordan is a great guy, fantastic actor, but he's even a better human being, great guy. And he got up there, and first thing he said was, "God is good," and then he thanked his mom. So that to me was I of course, like Kevin, I watched it on a clip because again, I didn't even know it was on. And I also, you know, listen, I'm excited that people say stuff like that. I'm glad that young lady had to say what she said. I love that. I want to have 20,000 more of your babies. That was a beautiful moment.
That's a lot of babies, by the way. That is a lot of babies right there.
It's a lot of babies. I don't know if she thought that one through, but bless her wanting the family. I think it's a great thing. So those are the two shining moments. The Best Actor, Best Actor.
So Michael B. Jordan, he won the Oscar over a guy named Timothee Chalamet, young actor who was up for Best Actor. He said this a couple months ago about the ballet and the opera, which I guess really offended the Oscar voters. Take a look.
I don't want to be working in ballet or opera or, you know, things where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though no one cares about this anymore. All respect to the ballet and opera people out there. I just lost 14 cents in viewership, but damn, I just took shots for no reason.
Kind of an awkward moment. Kevin, does that stuff really matter to those voters?
Sure they do. I look, I'm with him. I don't care about opera and ballet either. Are they talented? Sure they are, but it's not my cup of tea. And they shouldn't take that as something that's such a negative thing to say. You know, I don't like rap. I like my old 70s and 80s rock and roll and the groups that I like. And then we all have different tastes. So for him to say that and to lose votes, I'm not surprised that would have happened. I know apparently Russell Crowe said a long time ago, he should have won the Oscar for Beautiful Mind, but he said something that really, I remember, that really pissed off the Oscar voters. He ended up getting it anyway for Gladiator, but A Beautiful Mind was an amazing movie.
Yeah, I played John Nash, right? The mathematician.
Yeah.
Dean, this is, so by the way, he wouldn't have won it for Gladiator under the current rules, which I don't think people, I've heard this all day long. but this blows my mind. So in order to compete for Best Picture at the Academy Awards, movies must meet a diversity inclusion quota, which is just, this is so un-American. At least one lead actor must be a minority or from an underrepresented ethnic group, and 30% of the rest of the cast must be from an underrepresented ethnic group. And the storyline has to include subject matter about an underrepresented group. You know how many movies wouldn't be Best Picture? You said Gladiator, that wouldn't. Braveheart, Titanic. Titanic, by the way, you can't change the passengers and the crew on the Titanic because it's a true story. Forrest Gump, Schindler's List. You can't change the people featured in Schindler's List because it's a real story about something that really happened. Ben-Hur, Gone with the Wind, Dean. I don't know if a good movie's ever going to win again. Yeah.
The Godfather. Listen, that's part of when I stopped watching the Oscars. When they put this diversity inclusion quota, I was out. I heard people bashing on it today. Richard Dreyfuss, James Woods, Joe Rogan, Bert Kreischer. They all spoke out against it. I am completely against it because some stories are just less diverse, period. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with making a good movie. They just polluted the Oscars by going woke. And until they get rid of that, I don't think I'm going to watch.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. We're tight on time, Kevin, but Sean Penn won he won an award last night, Best Supporting Actor. Sean Penn wasn't there. He was visiting with President Zelensky in Ukraine. Okay, so I just mentioned this in the monologue, but we're still doing this Ukraine hysteria. This war's been now going on for more than 5 years. This is your real forever war, and the left still wants you to believe that this should be the most important thing in our everyday lives. It shouldn't be. And it's been going on for 5 years. Kevin, 15 seconds, final thought.
Hey, you know, they're going to keep saying the same thing over and over again. We know that. And everything's against Trump. And you're talking about, in your last segment, you talked about it was Putin's problem that we're getting gas so expensive. Right. And now it's Trump's problem if we got it. So, they're going to bash him no matter what. No, that is the only agenda they got. Whatever he says, we'll just go opposite. They're sick. That State of the Union was unbelievable. If Jesus walked in there, those asshole Democrats, pardon my French, would never stand up.
Yes, the Ayatollah's got some issues, by the way. The new Ayatollah might have some issues.
Well, that's going to be interesting.
As well, that will be. Kevin Sorbo, Dean Cain, good to have you both on tonight. Thank you.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.